Welcome back, everybody. We're diving into the LA Lakers today, and you've sent in some great sources, game previews, recaps, even some really detailed player stats. Really good stuff.
Really is, yeah.
The Lakers were riding high on a 6-game winning streak, the longest in the league, heading into their matchup against the Orlando Magic. But the Magic have been battling without their star player, Paolo Banchero,
Yeah.
So the big question was, could the Lakers keep their streak alive against a surprisingly, feisty Orlando team?
It's a fascinating dynamic, isn't it? On paper, you would think this would be an easy win for the Lakers.
Yeah, for sure.
But the Magic have been defying expectations lately.
Exactly. Everyone was talking about the Lakers streak, but I was more interested to see how the Magic would hold up. They actually won 6 straight before a close loss to the Clippers, which is impressive considering they're missing their top scorer.
It really speaks to their resilience and adaptability. Losing a player like Banchero, who averaged over 20 points a game last season, could have completely derailed them, But they found ways to stay competitive.
Okay, let's unpack the Lakers streak for a second. You've been following them closely, so what stands out to you about those 6 wins?
Well, they were definitely taking care of business, but it's worth noting that none of those wins came against teams currently in the top 8 of their conferences, right?
Yeah.
The competition was definitely softer than what they'll face moving forward.
So maybe calling it a hot streak is a bit generous?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, a win is a win. And stringing together 6 in a row definitely builds momentum and confidence, But their upcoming schedule is brutal, man.
Yeah.
They have games against Phoenix, Oklahoma City. Those are playoff caliber teams. Remember, Cleveland had a 15-game win streak earlier this season?
Oh, yeah.
The longest in the league so far, and they ended up losing to Boston.
Right.
Streaks are fickle things, especially when the competition ramps up.
All right, point taken. Now, let's talk about a player who's been lighting it up. Dalton Knecht.
Oh, yeah.
This rookie has been absolutely on fire.
He has been incredible. His performance against Utah was something else. To hit all 6 of your three-point attempts in a single quarter, that's special.
He ended up hitting 9 threes in that game. I mean, how rare is that?
It's incredibly rare, even for seasoned veterans. Think about it. Hitting 9 threes means you're not just shooting well, you're also getting open looks consistently. That requires a combination of skill, basketball IQ, and trust from your teammates. Only Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, and D'Angelo Russell have hit 9 threes in a game for the Lakers.
Wow.
And Knecht is only the 4th rookie in NBA history to do it. That puts him in some pretty elite company.
Even LeBron was impressed, calling him a real live ooter. I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds like high praise.
Right. LeBron doesn't hand out compliments lightly. And it's not just one game. Direct's shooting percentages for the season in recent games are off the charts. He's shooting 46.4% from 3 for the season and over 66% in his last 5 games. Those numbers are insane.
That kind of shooting can really change a game. But the Magic are known for their defense, right? I wonder how Knecht will fare against their schemes.
That's a great point. While Knecht's hot shooting is a major asset for the Lakers, they'll be facing a tough test against the Orlando Magic, whose defense has been stifling even without Banchero.
Let's dig into that. What makes their defense so effective?
Well, they've been incredibly disciplined and cohesive. Since November 8th, they've been ranked 1st in defensive efficiency, which means they're giving up the fewest points per 100 possessions in the league.
Yeah.
And they're doing it by forcing turnovers and making it really tough for opponents to score inside.
So it's not just about one player locking down their opponent, it's a team effort.
Exactly. They're playing a very team-oriented defense. They're not relying on individual brilliance. They're swarming the ball, closing out on shooters, and contesting every shot. It's impressive to watch, especially considering they're missing their star player. Okay, so we've got the high-octane Lakers offense, led by LeBron, AD, and this red-hot rookie, Knecht, going up against this suffocating Magic defense. That sounds like a pretty compelling matchup.
It definitely is. And to really understand this clash of styles, we need to talk about the player who stepped up in Banchero's absence, Franz Wagner.
Okay, let's talk about Wagner. Last season, he struggled with his three-point shooting.
He did. In fact, he was statistically the worst three-point shooter in the league last season.
Ouch. But this season, he's been a different player, hasn't he?
Absolutely. He's shooting a respectable 36% from 3 this year, a huge improvement. And since Banchero's injury, his scoring average has jumped to 29 points per game.
Wow, that's a massive jump. So is he carrying the offense now, or are other players contributing in different ways?
He's definitely shouldering a heavier scoring load. But it's not just about his points. He's also become more assertive as a playmaker, creating opportunities for his teammates, and the rest of the team has really stepped up defensively.
Give us some specifics. How are they shutting down opponents? They're holding opponents to a 47.5% effective field goal percentage, which factors in the added value of three-pointers. That's incredibly low. They're also forcing turnovers at the 4th highest rate in the league.
So they're making it really difficult for teams to score, both inside and outside. This game was shaping up to be a battle of strengths. The Lakers' potent offense against the Magic's suffocating defense. We actually have the game recap right here. Are you ready for the spoiler alert?
Let's hear it. I'm curious to see how this clash of styles unfolded.
You might be surprised by the outcome. This game ended up being a nail-biter, and the Lakers actually lost 119 to 118.
Wow, that's a surprise. The Magic really stepped up and pulled off the upset.
And it was their first home loss of the season.
That makes it even more impressive. Who was the hero for Orlando?
It was Franz Wagner. He hit the game-winning shot with just 2.5 seconds left on the clock.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It seems like he's really embracing his role as the leader in Banchero's absence.
Anthony Davis had a strong game for the Lakers, but he missed some key free throws down the stretch, which could have been the difference in the game. This loss has to sting a bit for the Lakers, especially since it ended their win streak and was their first loss at home.
It certainly highlights the importance of every possession. But even though the streak is over, the Lakers are still in a good position. They just need to learn from this loss and focus on the challenges ahead.
So the Lakers are facing some adversity for the first time this season. We'll pick this up in part 2 right after this.
It's a reality check for sure.
Exactly. So what does this all mean for the Lakers moving forward? They've got a tough schedule coming up, and now they've got this loss to shake off.
Well, this loss could be a wake-up call, you know? It shows that they can't afford to take any opponent lightly, especially with that tougher stretch of games on the horizon. The good news is they have a lot of talent and experience on their roster.
And they have Dalton Knecht, who's playing like a seasoned veteran, not a rookie. His hot shooting could be a major factor in how they navigate this tougher part of the schedule.
Absolutely. If Knecht can maintain his current form, he'll be a valuable weapon for the Lakers. His ability to spread the floor with his shooting creates space for LeBron and Davis to operate, which makes their offense even more potent.
But they'll also need to tighten up defensively, especially against those high-scoring teams they'll be facing soon. They can't afford to let opponents shoot lights out like the Magic did, even with a strong offensive performance from their own side.
That's right. They need to find that defensive intensity that made them so successful during their win streak. If they can combine that defensive effort with their offensive firepower, they'll be a force to be reckoned with.
All right, so we've covered the Lakers' win streak, their loss to the Magic, and the challenges they face moving forward. What are the key takeaways you think our listeners should remember from all of this?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that every game matters in the NBA, regardless of the opponent's record. The Lakers learned that the hard way against Orlando. They also need to remember that their upcoming schedule will test them in new ways. This next stretch of games will really show us what they're made of.
And let's not forget about Dalton Knecht, who's having an incredible rookie season. He's a player to watch not just for Lakers fans, but for any basketball fan who appreciates great shooting. His performance so far has been a bright spot for the Lakers, and his continued development will be key to their success this season.
I completely agree. His emergence adds another dimension to the Lakers' offense and makes them even more dangerous.
You mentioned that this next stretch of games will be a test for the Lakers, but what about the Magic? Where do they go from here?
That's a great question. The Magic have proven they can compete, even without their star player. It'll be interesting to see how they continue to develop as a team while Banchero is out. This is a valuable opportunity for their younger players to step up and gain experience.
Do you think they can make a run for the playoffs?
It's still early in the season, so it's hard to say, but they've definitely exceeded expectations so far. If they can maintain this level of play and get Banchero back healthy, they could be a surprise contender in the East.
Now, for our listener out there, I want to leave you with something to ponder. We've seen the Lakers at their best during this win streak, but we've also seen them stumble. The question is, can they bounce back from this loss, maintain their momentum, and prove themselves as true contenders in the Western Conference, especially against tougher competition? That's the question that will define the rest of their season.
It's a question worth considering. The Lakers have the potential to be a dominant force, but they'll need to find consistency and overcome adversity to reach their full potential. It will be fascinating to see how they respond to the challenges ahead.
You know, we often focus on the star players, but this game really highlighted the importance of role players. Guys like Wagner and Neck stepping up can make all the difference in a close game.
That's so true. Basketball is a team sport, and you need contributions from everyone on the roster to be successful.
All right, so we've delved into the Lakers, their surprising loss to the Magic, and the implications for both teams moving forward. Any final thoughts before we wrap up this deep dive?
I think the biggest takeaway is that the NBA season is a marathon, not a sprint. There will be ups and downs, wins and losses. The key is to learn from every experience, adapt, and keep striving for improvement.
Well said. This deep dive has been a roller coaster. From celebrating a 6-game win streak to analyzing a surprising loss, it's been a wild ride. It just goes to show you the NBA is full of surprises. Just when you think you have a team figured out, they throw you a curveball. And that's what makes it so exciting to follow.
Absolutely. And we've seen some incredible individual performances too. Neck's shooting has been a revelation, and Wagner's emergence as a leader for the Magic has been really fun to watch.
It's a reminder that there are always hidden gems and unexpected storylines waiting to be discovered. It's why we love this game. And as always, we'll be here to break it all down for you. So, for all you listeners out there, keep your eyes on the Lakers and the Magic. This season is far from over, and I have a feeling we're in for a wild ride.
I agree. Both of these teams have the potential to make some noise this season. The Lakers are still one of the favorites in the West, and the Magic have shown that they're not going to back down from anyone.
Exactly. So what's the one thing you think our listeners should take away from this deep dive?
I think the biggest lesson here is to never underestimate the heart of a competitor. The Magic, even without their star player, found a way to dig deep and pull off a huge upset. And for the Lakers, this loss could be the fuel they need to refocus and come back even stronger.
Perfectly put. This deep dive has been a blast. We've gone from analyzing win streaks to dissecting upsets, and it's all part of the beauty of the NBA. So until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into the world of basketball.